Hey everyone, and welcome back to another devlog for Spellbent. It's Thursday, October 14th, and it's been a few days since I posted the last video. If this is your first time here, be sure to like and subscribe if you like what you see. It really helps me out and helps channels like mine get traction. Also, if you want to start the devlog from the beginning, click the card in the top right, and it'll take you to a playlist with the whole thing. Last time, we left off working on adding spells and monsters to the combat system, and I mentioned that that's what I'd be working on for this week's video, and I will do that, but first I got a little distracted. My younger brother, Dason, this guy, started helping me build map chunks, and the tool that I built to make them has some struggles. You can see in the clip here that it's hard to tell where you're placing an object, mouse events click through the UI, and lots of other bugs. So I've spent the past few days cleaning that up before I got back to work on anything else. Setting out, I had three main goals. I wanted to clean up all the bugs, make it easier to use, and templatize the chunks so that it'll fit into my larger map generation plan. The way I'm planning it is we'll start with an empty grid. We can then place objects on the map knowing how much space they'll take. And then when it comes time to generate the world, we can assign a biome to the chunk, and the object templates will know which sprite to use based on that biome. After that's done, we can then populate the world map with unique chunks, making it so that the map is as diverse as possible every playthrough of the game. So let's take a look at what I was able to get done. If we take a look at the map maker scene that we have here, it looks pretty much the same as it did before, but there are a few things that are different. We now have this grid that'll give us some information about where objects are placed on the map chunk. We removed all of the extra objects, and now we only have these 20 objects here, and these are our templatized objects. And now we have a biome drop-down menu down here that lets us change through all of the different biomes that we're going to have. So let's load up a chunk and see what it looks like with all the new changes. So we can take a look down here at the bottom left hand corner, and these are the only objects that we have sprites for right now. But what we can do is we can change biomes. We can take a look at the plains biome, and we can see that the system is smart enough now to change the objects based on the biome that the chunk is assigned. We'll also be changing the texture of the background mesh as well to match the biome once we have those sprites drawn up and ready to go. So yeah, this is ready, and the more sprites that we have, the better and the more functional it'll be, and the more chunks Dason will be able to make for us. So now that I'm done with that, I can get back to making the improvements to the combat system that I wanted to make. And specifically what I wanted to work on was adding the new combat animations that Ben has added to the game, as well as making it possible for the player to equip weapons. So I'm going to get rolling on that, and I'll see you again when I'm done, or it's Sunday night and I need to get the video ready for Monday. So it's actually Monday morning. So if you're watching this today, happy Monday. Let's just quickly jump in and take a look at what I've been able to accomplish with the combat animations over the last few days. So if you notice in the clips before, I started out with a really big animation tree with lots of transitions between all these animations. And I felt like it was a little too complex, and I felt like it was a little bit overkill for what I was trying to do. I feel like the Unity animator can be really powerful for 3D animations and blend trees and transitions and stuff that I have no idea about. But since I'm just animating a 2D character with sprites, I figured I could manage it mostly with code. So I got rid of all the transitions and was able to replace all those crazy transitions with about 100 lines of code. And I would have been able to do it with less if C# had a shorter syntax for if statements, like JavaScript does. Other than that, I removed the animation event frames from all of the spellcasting animations, these things right here. They were controlling casting the spells, and instead what I did was I was able to put a cast interval on all the spells so that in the future I'll be able to control the rate at which the spells come from the player. Other than that, I was able to add in all of the animations for the weapon so that now as the player moves, so does his weapon. That includes like the run animations, the standing still animations, and everything. So my next steps are to be able to add in the actual equipable item function so that when the player drags a weapon from the inventory down here to the weapon slot up here, it'll be reflected on that weapon object that the player is holding. So that's what I'll be working on this upcoming week. And I'm excited to show you all what I come up with. See you in the next one.